Yeah, this is one card combo. I mean, what more do I have to say? It's just ridiculous. This deck is just insane. Hey guys, 66 here, and today I am going to be showing off the combo for new Dragon Link. I think I explained it pretty well in the profile, but just in case you guys don't know how to do it, I'll show it off today. This is basically the exact same deck, though I made a small change. I added in Sage with Eyes of Blue, because the theory is the same as Diva and Unizombie. You normal this, and then if they don't hand trap it, you add Valor. That's just a free negate for you. And a lot of the time they will hand trap it, because against Blue Eyes, ashing the Sage or Imperm, Valoring it, whatever, stopping the Sage is actually good against Blue Eyes. So people are inclined to hit it, and if they don't, you just get a free negate for the end of your combo. So it's perfect in that sense, and it's a tuner, so you just make Hawk with it. So that's the only change I made to the deck, I think. Maybe a bit in the side deck as well. Again, side decks are format dependent, so don't cling to this too much. Anyways, we're just gonna do test hands. No messing around. No like specific card combos. We're just gonna do test hands because one Hulk is full combo. Alright? So let's start with this hand here. You draw the stone. So there's kind of two ways to go about it if you draw the stone. You can use the stone, or you can summon the stone with Hulk straight up from your hand. I'll just show off using the stone. It's really the same either way. Unexpected Die is just a turbo card. Look at this. You do this, and then you normal stone, and then you just combo from there. Now this hand sucks because you have two high scales, but you do have a hand trap, so if they stop you completely, maybe you can still make it work. I'd rather do this live than do it in a replay, honestly. It's a bit easier. Howl comes out. Now, White Stone will search you Blue Eyes. And then what you do here is you just summon any level 1 tuner. So, in this case, I want to draw Valor. And if I draw the Contract, I'll just make sure to put it back with Saryuja because, you know, this combo makes Saryuja so cleanly. So now you link cross here. Get your tokens and formula. This is just standard Hulk stuff. And then what you do is you march or bring back White Stone. This is the special part. This is what makes it Dragon Pendulum, right? Normally you would just summon the White Stone off the Hulk, so it's the same thing. You go like this. From here, this is where it's kind of weird. Like, okay, how do you Dragon combo? How do you make it to Saryuja? You make LP here. And then you make Buster Whelp thing on top of it. Protector Whelp. Because this is a dragon, right? So you see now you point here. So then LP can use its effect. And as I went over in the deck profile, which if you guys haven't seen the deck profile, go watch the deck profile. It's hyper in-depth, goes over everything, and it's extreme detail. Now Pisty comes out, brings back the White Stone. Look at that, now we have 4 monsters. What do you do with 4 monsters in this game? All different names. You're under Guard Dragon, so you can't make any good links, like Apollo or anything. You make this guy, Saryuja. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, I also forgot to search a Blue Eyes. When you make LP, you search a Blue Eyes, because that's how White Stone works. So we got 1 draw there, Contract. So 3 more. Look at that. So you put back the Red Eyes Fusion. And we'll put this back, and we'll put this back. And then, because White Stone's a mandatory effect, it actually triggers here. White Stone is always Chain Link 1 since it's mandatory. And it'll get us Blue Eyes. So look at that. Look how free this was. And look how full our hand is. Your Dueling Book does not want you to play with this many cards in hand. You can't even go through them efficiently. Now, we didn't even draw Pen Call here, but guess what? It was fine, because we get Gate 0 naturally in this combo. Like, everything just culminates with this deck. Now, look, you just pen summon. Look at this, we pen summon 2 from the extra deck, because Die gets you 1, and then Darkworm from the combo itself gets you another 1. So, as you can see, they're playing Darkworm in your deck allowed us to, just off of LP, complete our scales, which if we didn't complete scales, our board is nothing. It's just like hand traps and Dragoon. Right, it gets you that, and it gets you a free monster on field. That just goes to show how powerful playing Darkworm is in this deck. It's ridiculous. So then Harmo comes out, gets you whatever you want, double Irish, sure. And And then Celestial is going to trigger, so on the end phase you search a card. And look at this, you still have so many cards in hand. You played everything onto the field, but you still have so many cards in hand. From here, you can do whatever you want, really, it doesn't matter all that much. Savage, Equip. I'm actually considering playing Evil Swarm Nightmare in this deck, which you'll see in more detail in tomorrow's video, because tomorrow's video will be a Zephyr deck, or next video, probably won't be tomorrow. Maybe will be though, depends on how hard I work on this. You know what, maybe same day, alright? If we try really hard, we can get these out on the same day. Don't be expecting that though. Really, don't be expecting that. But yeah, because Evil Swarm Nightmare, if you have enough spell trap negates, if you think about it, it's way better than Savage, because it's like 2 negates instead of 1. We'll get more into that. And we drew the Red Eyes Fusion, but guess what? It didn't matter, because you put it back with Saryuja, since you naturally get Saryuja in the combo. It's ridiculous. And now you just make Dragoon, and then that's your board. Very simple, very easy. End phase, Celestial effect gets you a search, because it can do that. And there's really nothing to search with a hand like this, but you can just search Chronograph, so if they start breaking your board, you can save yourself with this. So, yeah, look at this. So, on the surface, not even that many negates, right? Savage, Dragoon, Herald. Okay, that's like nothing. That's the same as the Dragon Link board, but without the Herald. But keep in mind, you also have Ash and Ogre. So you basically won't get OTK no matter what. And then when it gets back to your turn, you top deck. Look at this. You have 6 cards in hand. And do whatever you want. And remember, you make Celine to revive the Dragoon. You have another Hulk in your extra deck. You have access code. So you actually have more plays the next turn. And yeah, it's that simple. This is better than Dragon Link board, without a doubt. It's so much better. And you have a better follow-up, too. Like, it's that easy. This deck's just ridiculous. One Hulk. One Hulk gets you everywhere with this deck. Let's do another hand, just for fun. Alright, Adahara. Just showing off. Like, you legit just need to make Hulk. Again, this hand is garbage. It's not as bad, though, because we can actually pen summon with this hand straight up. Like, we could if we wanted to. We can just scale this, and then pen summon 1. So if they hand trap you, you can use your pen summon just to make a Dragoon, and that's kind of good enough. Weirdly enough, that's the kind of format we're in. So I would actually normal Celestial here. So now when you make Hulk, if Hulk gets hand trapped here, no problem. You just go Pulse, Alliance Effect, Add, Pen Call, Pitch, and then Combo. Like, it's that simple. It won't be as good of a board, but you'll still get somewhere. And if your Hulk doesn't get hit, then that's even better. If your Hulk doesn't get hit, you straight full combo on them, and you win the game. It's very simple. I know Dragon Link has that Herald play to play around Nibiru, but here's the thing, they can Nibiru you before that. And with Dragon Link, you don't even have something like the Pen Summon after everything else, so really, I mean, you could play through a lot with Dragon Link, depending on the hand, but yeah, if you get lucky with Dragon Link, it's really good, because you just have all these extenders. But when you're playing a deck like Dragon Link, you do have a lot of bricks, right? Boot Sector, the Rose Dragons, you have to deal with, what else? The Dragoonity stuff, the Ravine, the Absol Router. There's a ton of cards that aren't extenders that you naturally get in your combos. And it's a problem in Dragon Link. There's all these extenders, but you're not always getting all your extenders. That's not the case. There are hands where you just don't get what you want to get. And that's the reality of it. This deck is better than Dragon Link, without a doubt, honestly. This deck's ridiculous. You can brick on this deck? Yeah, with my luck, you're going to brick quite a bit. But that's really not the deck's problem, that's my problem, because my luck is just pure garbage, and we can get into that another time. This board kind of sucks. You see in the profile I side Apollo. That's because if it's game 2 and 3 and you know you're going first, you want to put in Apollo, so you can actually, if you have a good enough opening, like you don't get hand trapped very hard, you can put up Apollo with the Dragoon and the Savage, and then you definitely win at that point. Because, again, the problem is, you don't actually put up enough negates with this stack, as funny as that sounds. Now, I know most stacks scoop to like 3 negates, but I don't know. With my luck, my opponent ends up drawing like the perfect only second hand every single time. Yeah, if you watch Rift streams, the opponent scoops to like 2 negates. And I'd be saying they're like, how? Because my opponents can play through like 4, no problem. That's just a luck thing, I guess. If you only get 1 hand trap, though, it is pretty sad. You want more than 1 hand trap. But this board is still 4 pretty big negates. This board sucks, I'll be honest there. But here's the thing, though. Even though the board sucks, your follow-up is still just insane. And that's fine. That's good enough. The follow-up with this board is actually really good. You don't even need to summon Harmo here. You can keep Harmo in hand and just quick launch here. It's ridiculous, because... Okay, so this triggers. Think about how many cards you have in hand at the end of this. It's insane. Here you just make Verte, and then you quick launch. Into the Tracer. You don't need Lamia next turn. You'd rather not take any damage from this, because you're paying 2,000 with Verte. I didn't do it in the first one, because I'm not doing it here either, because I'm playing a bunch, so I don't want to keep resetting the life points. And then, did I take out Silver Rocket? That would have been a mistake if I did. Okay, whatever, let's just say we summon this then, because that's a beauty pen summoning. And then you do this. And our Savage is fat, by the way. We have a Saryuja buff Savage. I know Dragon Link players don't even play Saryuja all the time. That's insanely weird if you ask me. Why would you not play Saryuja? It's so weird. So even though we had a very mediocre hand, if we don't get hand trapped here, it's 4 big negates and you end with 5 cards in hand. That's insane. You end with just as many as you started. Like, huh? And you have this full board as well. So here, again, just add Chronograph. This helps you survive. So if they do somehow kill your board, they get the access off, you do this, keep yourself alive, and the next turn, you still have cards in hand to win the game with. This game is broken with this deck. This deck is actually just crazy. Look at this. You go with 5 cards. You're starting your next turn with 6 cards in hand, as if nothing happened. It's that simple. And remember, it's a Pendulum deck. So it's not like you just have random monster bricks in your hand, or you just pen summon them. They have to clear your scales and your board. They have to clear everything. And then it's still not good enough. They have to put up negates on top of that through Savage, this, Dragoon, and a hand trap. They have to do that just to break through this. And again, that was a mediocre hand. That was not a good hand. That was not even a good board. We only had 1 hand trap. Even though we draw a total of 10 times, we never get rid of our hand traps, and we play 12 in this deck. So, like, this deck is that ridiculous. And like this, they have to stop this. If they stop this, I go Chrono, Gazer, and then that's combo. It's so simple. And even if you don't combo off, you still have Baylor, right? If the opponent has a bunch of hand traps, that means they have less cards to play with, just mathematically speaking. If they drew more hand traps, they drew less combo cards. And they probably drew way less starters. What does that mean? They're easier to stop with your own hand traps. The more hand traps they use on you, the less hand traps it takes for you to stop them. That's what the point I'm trying to make here. And yeah, these are just test hands with this deck. And you can see every hand does the same thing. 1 Hulk is all this deck needs. And if you get shut down, what do you make? You put up Dragoon plus whatever, plus a hand trap, plus maybe even Savage. Use your Pendulum summon. Dragoon allows this deck to just not care as much. Because it's like, okay, I got stopped. Rest of my hand's dead. Whatever. I guess I'll Dragoon pass with a bunch of discard fodders. And a lot of the time, at the very least, they'll keep you alive. It's kind of dumb like that, especially if you have hand traps on top of that. If you have Dragoon plus a hand trap and you play through 2 hand traps, okay, they have 4 cards in hand to play through Dragoon and a hand trap. Let's say that one of those was a brick, and the other one, they have like 2 starters and 1 extender. All of a sudden, you stop them sufficiently, which is weird to think about it like that, but that's how it works. And then next turn, what do? You win. Let's say they outed your Dragoon with their resources, right? But they couldn't do much more than that. Well, now what do you think is going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that, well, you go Celine Revive Dragoon and you win. Very simple, because this deck actually does have a good follow-up, which might not be super obvious at first, but it's definitely the case. This deck has good follow-ups. And I know it seems like I'm just rambling here, and that's the case, but I'm just quietly playing through some test hands, and this deck will just dominate. Look how many cards we have in hand. This is what happens when you open Diva New combo. You start your turn, right, with 9 cards in hand, and the seal, right? I think of it as starting with 10 cards, because you'd have 10 cards and a Yugioh, and Yugioh summons a card from your hand, which basically is a normal summon, right? So you start your turn with a normal summon still, and then 10 cards in hand instead of 5. You literally doubled your cards in hand. And, I mean, if you don't think that's ridiculous, I guess you're living in 2021, when I have my next Pendulum deck, which is probably even better somehow, because that's how Pendulums work. Pendulum best deck. Simple as that, I guess. Look at this. Look how easy it is to make a board with the best deck. Look at it. Just marvel at the strength of the best deck in the game. Once again, this gets banished. We're ending with 5 cards in hand. This board actually ends with 6. Yeah, because we're starting with Celestial at the end. 6 cards in hand on top of the entire board. That sounds, you know, real fair and balanced if you ask me. And it's so simple too. You're not running that many bricks. The Red Eyes engine, okay, fine, but that's like a backup plan as well. So that's not really part of the combo. That's the backup plan. You're running what, Whitestone? Okay, that's still a tuner you can normal summon. What else? You're running 2 Blue Eyes? Yeah, those are your bricks. That's it. Everything else in this deck is not a brick. I'm serious. The combo legit uses 1 Whitestone, 2 Blue Eyes. And if you draw any of those, you can still combo just fine. Comparing that to Dragon Link, you actually have less bricks, which you wouldn't expect with a convoluted combo like this one, where there's all these weird steps. But with Dragon Link, you're playing Rose Dragons, you're playing the Dragooni engine, you're playing Boot Sector, you're playing a whole bunch more bricky cards you don't want to draw. Now, granted, those cards aren't that bad to draw. You can kind of make them work if you draw them. They still have their uses. But what I'm saying is, it's like 45 to 50 cards in Dragon Link, and there's like 7 or 8 of these. So Dragon Link actually has more problems with bricks than this deck has. And just look how good Sage is here. Look how good Sage is there. Negate. It's a normal summon, tuner, and a negate. It's like a hand trap that stays in your hand after you normal summon it. If you think about it that way in the context of going first. It's a hand trap that stays in your hand after you normal summon it. So it's like getting both uses out of a hand trap out of 1 card. And once again, this is full combos but through hand traps, basically. Ridiculous. And you still have Valor. So if they do shut you down, again, you can use the Valor and then get to your next turn. And with that, you get a lot more value. If you're really scared of Nibiru, you can play Link Spider in this deck. And the reason for that is, then they Nibiru you get the token, right? And then if you have any turbo card, you just go token plus Link Spider, or no, Link Spider from the token plus your turbo card, and that just turns into Dragoon. And then let's say if you have a hand trap as well, well now you have Dragoon plus a hand trap after everything else. You're fine, which is again just unreasonable from my perspective. That's ridiculous. That you're able to just not care about hand traps all that much at all, even though your deck is theoretically so weak to it, because it's a one Hulk combo deck. That's what this is. This deck is a one Hulk combo deck, right? I know I'm playing 2 Hulk, but what I mean is everything comes from your Hulk play. So if your Hulk is shut down, the deck should do nothing. But is that the truth? Is that what ends up happening? No. If your Hulk gets shut down, you actually don't care. So even though the entire combo of this deck is dedicated to Hulk in the Blue Eyes combo, you ultimately don't actually care about the Hulk. That just makes it better. That's not necessary. And again, I know it sounds like I'm just rambling a lot, which I am. This is just how strong the deck is. And you can just keep watching. It's like a Yugioh Pro replay. Because this deck is so simple in what it does that I can just play the combo while talking about completely unrelated stuff without being thrown off even a little bit. Because, you know, that's how straightforward it actually ends up being when you understand what the combo is. So this is a much better board because you have Ash double Valor on top of your board. The amount of negates this deck puts up is basically based on how many hand traps you draw, which isn't intuitively what you would think at all when you think, oh, big dragon combo deck. But that's exactly what this is. The more hand traps you draw, the more negates you put up. And yeah, it's funny, but this is optimal, obviously. It's my deck, so of course it's optimal. Why would it not be optimal? Come on now, use your critical thinking skill a little bit. My decks are always optimal. And yeah, there's the board. And once again, you're ending with 6 cards in hand. Whoop-de-doo, who would have known? And there it is. Borrelsaur comes out. Gives you this. Put 4 counters on your Borrelsaur. And then, oh, what comes next? I wonder. I'm surprised. I have no clue what's gonna come next. Oh my god, it's Dragoon. And what? Dragoon's consistent in this deck? Why? Oh, it's because you always make Saryuja in the combo? Whoa, ridiculous. Is this the best deck? Wow, look at that. Ending turn with 6 negates and 6 cards in hand. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Come on. And you start your turn with 7 cards in hand on top of this. And remember, that Sage gave us an extra negate. So Sage is super good in this deck. I don't know if I need to run 3, but it's a really good card. That's all you need to know. You don't want too many normal summons, right? 3 Diva is perfect, because Diva just has to get hand trapped. Diva just has to get hand trapped. And yeah, that's the combo. So let's just reset this again. And this time I'll just show 1 Hulk only. Nothing else. You know the deck's good when it takes this long for the reset deck button to work. So let's just say we don't have any of these cards, and we just 1 Hulk, okay? That hand was one of the best hands you could ask for, because even if you get completely shut down, you still just hand trap them. And then next turn you win, because you have pen summon. Whoop-de-doo, who would have known? This is 1 Hulk combo. It's annoying, but formula has to draw before you search the blue eyes. That's just how it is. Are there better one Hulk combos in this game? Yeah, obviously. There's one Hulk FTKs as far as I'm concerned. But the difference between those and this is that this one you don't have to run so many bricks. And that's a lot better. I don't think I have to explain why. And now it's really clear what's going on, right? Now it's really clear. How many cards did we end up, guess I'll say, searching throughout this combo? 3. So how many cards can we put back? 3. So you just put all 3 of these back, and you end up drawing 5. But it's better than that, because you see what cards you draw, and you're like, wait, I don't want Red Eyes Fusions. You put that back instead. And it's like, oh, so I started with 1 card and ended with 5? No, wrong, because the whites don't search another card, you end with 6. Just ridiculous. And look at that. We're going to do the full board, starting with literally 1 card in our hand, just the Diva. I mean, what more do I have to say, honestly? Saying any more almost seems redundant at this point. Deck speaks for itself. The deck speaks for yourself. Yeah, you can get a free card in your extra deck for Pen Summon. Of course you do. It's the best deck. And you're still ending with an extra card in hand. You don't even use your whole hand. It's only 3 negates. That's a fair criticism. But at the same time, you're running hand traps. That's the goal. 3 negates is not a lot, but you're gonna have hand traps in any realistic situation, which is really what makes this deck good. And you would want to put Yugioh over here. So actually, your board is actually this small, and you don't get any hand traps for some reason. Yeah. I wonder if there's a way to make this deck any better, where instead of playing turbo cards, you just play these big, impactful normal summons, and you play some turbo cards. But then what you do is you just play like super baity spells that they have to negate with their hand traps so that you win. I'm working on a build like that. It might even be better than this one. But in any case, I'd consider those the same deck. It would be Dragon Pendulum either way. So yeah, that's how it is. And this is a discard far for Dragoon, and end phase you search a card for absolutely free. And yeah, there's nothing really you want to search, but whatever, just add Chronograph. Yeah, this is 1 card combo. I mean, what more do I have to say? It's just ridiculous. This deck is just insane. So, that's me all for today, guys. Take care, y'all. Goodbye.